In this video, I'd like to introduce my sequential exits expert advisor, which is a piece of software, a piece of code that my professional programmer has coded for me. And basically, what it does, it automates sequential or partial exits on your trading. As you probably know, the MetaTrader platform doesn't allow you to set multiple exit levels. Let me actually show you how the MetaTrader works. If you are to take a trade, for example, on the euro against the American dollar for one standard lot, as you can see, you can only set one stop loss level and one profit taking level. Whenever either of these two levels is hit, the platform will close your trade altogether for the entire lot size. But what if I wanted to exit 33% of the trade at profit taking level number 1, 33% of the trade at profit taking level number 2, and then the remaining 34% of the trade at profit taking level number 3. What if I wanted to set multiple stop loss levels, not just one, but for example, two of them, okay? Close 50% of the trade at stop loss level number 1, 50% of the trade at stop loss level number 2. As it stands, I would actually have to do that manually. That means that whenever any of my partial profit taking levels or stop loss levels is hit, I would have to manually come back here, punch in here the number of lots I want to close at that point, let's say 0.5 lots, and then I would have to click on the close button. Okay, manually I would have to do that myself. Well, that's not required anymore with that this piece of software that you are going to be able to download from this same page. By the way, the download link is right under this video. It's called the Sequential Exits Expert Advisor. Let's see how it works. Alright, let's assume I want to take a trade on the euro against the American dollar, 15 minutes time frame. I'm going to take a buy entry, alright? And obviously I would like to set my stop loss levels, my profit taking levels, etc., etc. Just as I would, place any standard trade. So that's current market price. I'm going to click on my buy button now, but first I'm going to define my stop loss levels. Let's say that's going to be a stop loss level number 1, and that's going to be a stop loss level number 2. I'm going to exit 50% of the trade at each different level. Then let's say I want to set a 3-step profit taking exit, profit taking policy. That's going to be my profit taking level number 1, profit taking level number 2, and that's going to be profit taking level number 3. I'm going to exit 33% of the trade at each consecutive level. Alright, well, now let's just punch in the trade as usual. Let's say I'm going to take this trade with, I don't know, 6 lots, for example. Alright, and like I say, I'm going to click on my buy button. No need to, for the time being, to punch in any stop loss or profit taking level. Okay, the trade has been entered successfully, so click on OK. And now what we need to do is to apply the sequential exits expert advisor to instruct that expert advisor to exit the trades at these sequential levels. All right, okay, let's do it. Please mind that this is not an indicator, it's an expert advisor, and therefore you need to search for it on your MetaTrader platform under the expert advisor tab. Okay, just click there, expand it, and then search for it right there. I have it here on my favorites. I simply click and drag it into my chart. Make sure all these boxes are ticked. Click on accept, and then up here you should see the name of the expert advisor plus a smiley icon there. If you don't see the smiley icon but rather a sad icon, alright, all you need to do is to go into tools, options, then expert advisors, and make sure that all these four boxes are ticked. Okay, now let me go into the expert advisor's properties. Just simply right click on your chart, browse into expert advisors and then into properties, and then into the inputs tab. Okay, here are all the different parameters of the expert advisor. First of all, we need to punch in the ticket number. Okay, the ticket number is what you see down here. Basically, we need to tell the expert advisor what's the ticket number for the particular trade we want to manage. All right, let me expand that out, and as we can see, it's whoops, just a second. Let me contract this just a little bit. All right, there we are. So as you can see, it's 30778267. So let's just punch that in. That's a 30778267. That's it. Now, first, whoops, sorry about that. First target, enter parameters below. So down here, we are going to punch in our first target, which is 136.12. So 136.12.7. This is a 5-decimal broker, and then how many lots am I gonna exit at this level? Lot target 1. Well, since we took the trade with 6 lots, well, let's say I'm gonna exit 2 lots at the first level. Do we want to activate the profit taking level number 1? Yes, just leave it to true, okay? Which is set to true by default, by the way. Then let's move into target number 2. The target number 2 is 136.44, right? So 136.44.6, and I'm gonna exit another 2 lots at that time, and set. I'm gonna activate it, set it to true. Target level number 3, which is up here, 136.68. So 1.3668.9. And finally, we're going to exit the last remaining 2 lots. Now, what about the stop losses? Well, we can also set partial stop losses. Stop loss level number 1. Stop loss level number 1 is 135.43, if I can read that correctly. 135.43.4, and we're gonna exit 3 lots out of the 6 lots there, and then obviously activate stop loss number 1, also set to true. Then stop loss number 2, that's 135.10. 1.35.109. We are going to exit another 3 lots at that moment. And now, do I want to set a stop loss number 3? No, I don't. So I simply toggle this to false. Okay, I set that to false. Now, trailing stops. The expert advisors allows us to trail our stop loss as the different partial profit taking levels are hit. So once price hits my first target, I can trail my stop loss from its original locations up to break even if I want, or up to here, or to whatever level I define. All right, and that's going to be the entire stop loss. So if I have, such as it is the case indeed, 2 stop loss levels, well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set it to break even once price hits my first target. So once price travels all the way up here, these 2 stop losses are gonna be combined in just one single stop loss, and it's gonna be trailed to break even. My entry price was 135.767, correct? So trading stop number 1, 135.767. That's it. Now, trailing stop number 2, that refers to what do I want price to do, or rather my stop loss, my trailing stop loss to do once price hits the second profit-taking level. I'm not gonna trail my stop loss up once price hits my stop loss, my profit-taking level number 2. I'm just gonna let the stop loss sitting at break even. So again, I will simply punch in 135.767. As you can see, there is no trailing stop number 3. Why? Because by the time price hits the profit-taking level number 3, well, the trade will be exited out altogether. You know, this is gonna be my final profit-taking level, so there is nothing, no stop loss left to trail, right? So you can only set 2 trailing stops, one at the first target and then another one at the second target. All right, and that's basically it. Now you simply click on accept. As you can see, the expert advisor is printing all the information about this trade here on the top left corner of your screen, of your chart. However, let me take out all these black lines, well, to be able to read it clearly. Okay, just give me a second. All right, there we are. Here we can get the information as far as the ticket number. It's a buy order at 135.767 for 6 lots, and here we can get the information about the profit-taking levels and the stop loss levels. Profit-taking level number 1 is 136.127, and at that point we are going to close 2 lots. Well, same information for target number 2, target number 3, and also stop loss level number 1 and stop loss level number 2. You will notice that stop loss level number 3 is set to off because we did indeed ourselves set it to off. Remember? Now, once price hits your first target, this is going to switch from on to off. Okay, and the trailing stop feature, since we did activate it as well, is gonna kick in, and therefore the stop losses are gonna be set to off as well, both of them, and you will see another further line appearing here stating something like trailing stop loss activated, current stop loss level is, and well, whatever level we punched in before, which was, if I remember correctly, break-even levels, meaning 135.767. Well, that's what's gonna appear here. All right. All right. A few things that you need to be aware of if you are to use this sequential exits expert advisor. First of all, if upon setting the parameters you get some type of an error message up there, it can mean 2 things. Either you've inserted the wrong ticket number, just double confirm that you are punching in the right ticket number, or your target levels or stop loss levels don't make sense. For example, if you entered a buy order, your target level number 1 cannot be higher than your target level number 2. All right, if that's your entry point, the target level number 1 needs to obviously be lower than the target level number 2, right? And the target level number 2 needs to be lower than the target level number 3, and so on and so forth. Just make sure that your targets and stop losses make sense, all right? And then, you know, everything should work just fine. All right, second thing you need to be aware of. Once you've set up the parameters on the expert advisor, you should not manually edit the trade in itself. If I go into the ticket number, I right click there on my screen and I select modify or delete order, you can see, oops, sorry about that, just let me do that once again. You can see how here I can modify the stop loss, I can modify the profit taking level, etc, etc. Well, please don't do that, because if you do, the expert advisor is going to stop working for this particular trade. The reason for that is because every time any parameter on any trade is being altered, okay, is being changed, MetaTrader assigns a new ticket order number to that particular trade, and therefore the expert advisor is gonna be looking to manage a trade that doesn't exist, because this ticket number is not valid anymore. You will see that every time you edit any trade, the order number is gonna change. So please just leave it at that, okay? Just let the expert advisor do its job. Don't touch a thing. Once it's set, leave it running, all right? And that's it. Another thing that you should be aware of is that expert advisors work or operate on your end, on your computer, and not on your broker's server. Why is this significant? Well, it's significant because your broker is not aware of any of these levels. Your broker is not aware that you want to close out little bits of your trade at these levels, all right? Only the expert advisor, which is only running on your computer. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that if you want the expert advisor to keep operating and managing your trade, you should not close out this chart, right? This euro against American dollar chart. So please don't click on that button there. Also, obviously, don't shut down your MetaTrader platform, and obviously, don't shut down your computer. If you need to leave your home, if you need to stand away from your computer, just leave it running, okay? Leave it running so then the expert advisor can keep on managing your trade while you are away. Obviously, you can drag this chart around. You can even minimize it. You can open some other charts and search for trading opportunities somewhere else. You can take new trades. That's all fine, all right? As long as you don't mess around with this chart. Okay? I mean, you don't close it out and you don't manually edit this ticket order number there, the expert advisor is gonna keep on doing its job just fine. And well, finally, whenever you are using expert advisors, and this expert advisor is no exception, you should take your trades with a parachute, stop loss, and profit taking level. All right. Let me try to explain what I mean. Whenever you are entering the trade, okay, at the beginning, not now, because as we've already established, you can now go back and now modify this ticket order number. What you need to do whenever you are, originally entering the trade, before applying the expert advisor, all right, before you click on the buy or the sell button, my recommendation is to enter a parachute stop loss and a parachute profit taking level. For example, we decided that the stop loss level number 2 was going to be 135.10. See? Well, how about entering one final stop loss, 1 pip below that level? So instead of 135.10, we would enter our final stop loss level, or our parachute stop loss level, at 135.09. Now, profit taking level, our final profit taking level is intended to be 136.89, correct? No, sorry, 136.68. All right, so let's insert a parachute profit taking level at 136.69. All right, again, instead of 136.68, 136.69, and then you would go about clicking on the buy or sell button, and then you would apply the expert advisor into this trade, etc., etc. Now, why would we need this parachute stop loss and profit taking levels if the expert advisor is already managing and exiting and closing the trade for us? Well, because as I was mentioning before, expert advisors run on your end, on your computer. Your broker is not aware of any of these levels. All right. What happens if, I don't know, let's assume you just stand away from your computer, you walk away, or you need to leave your home. What happens if your internet connection drops? Well, I am afraid you would have a trade running in the market and no expert advisor would be managing the trade. That's why you want to set those parachute exit levels. What happens if we get, your computer freezes for whatever reason? Sometimes, technology doesn't work as we expect. Your computer may crash down, it may reboot, or your internet connection, as I was mentioning before, may simply drop dead. Whatever the case may be, you always want to enter a trade with parachute, stop loss, and profit taking levels whenever you are trading with expert advisors, just in case the expert advisor midway through the trade stops working. Again, that's just a security procedure, but I very strongly recommend you to follow that. All right, folks, that's all as far as the sequential exits expert advisor. It's a very convenient tool. You don't need to be sitting at your trading station all day long. Let the machine do it for you. All right, and once you found a trading opportunity, once you enter the trade, and once you set the parameters on the sequential exit expert advisor, you can simply walk away, read a book, and enjoy the rest of your day. All right, folks, that's all for this video. Bye bye.